America's longest war is ending.
Our military mission in Afghanistan will conclude on August 31st.
Over 2 decades, more than 775,000 U.S. service members were deployed in Afghanistan as part of Operations Enduring Freedom and Freedom Sentinel. More than 2,300 personnel have been killed in action and over 20,000 wounded. Now, 20 years after U.S. forces first rode through Afghanistan on horseback, remaining American military personnel are withdrawing, in one case in the dead of night, potentially to avoid tipping off the Taliban, and handing over U.S. bases to the Afghan government. Afghanistan became the first theater in the George W. Bush administration's larger war on terror, as U.S. and other coalition forces hunted for al-Qaeda mastermind Osama bin Laden and dismantled the Taliban government that gave him sanctuary. Popular support for the war was high domestically and internationally, and the invasion was broadly viewed as a legitimate and just response to the 9/11 attacks. For the first time in NATO history, the organization invoked its Article 5 collective security provision, which holds that an attack on one NATO member is akin to an attack on all others. U.S. troops nearly killed bin Laden in late 2001 in Afghanistan's Tora Bora Mountains, but the al-Qaeda leader managed to escape to Pakistan, where he would be killed by U.S. Special Operations Forces in 2011. U.S. forces quickly routed Afghanistan's ruling Taliban regime and helped midwife a new Afghan government led by Hamid Karzai. A weak but nascent and endemically corrupt Afghan democracy was born. But the Taliban did not disappear. After retrenching in Afghanistan's Pashtun heartland, the extremist Islamist group launched a deadly insurgency that weakened Afghanistan's central government, destabilized the country, and dragged U.S. forces into a 2-decade-long war of attrition. Since 2001, over 70,000 Afghan and Pakistani civilians have died as a direct result of the war effort, which has cost over $2.2 trillion. U.S. negotiations with Taliban representatives dragged on for years, with a peace deal, which did not include the Afghan government as a party, finalized in early 2020. The deal included a pledge from the Taliban to renounce safe harbor for al-Qaeda, but did not address the underlying Taliban insurgency. Violence escalated and has continued after the U.S. withdrawal was announced. Afghanistan is already effectively under the authority of 2 different governments at war, and recent Taliban military victories in Afghanistan's north have underscored the fragility of the government's hold, even on Kabul, the country's capital. 2 decades after the U.S. swept them from power, the Taliban looks poised to rule Afghanistan again.